I'm David Brown. My wife Linda and I have been members of Apex United Methodist Church for probably over 20 years now, and love it. Love the church and love the community. As you know, I'm a member, a volunteer, and a member of the board of two local nonprofits that help people in need in Western Wake County. Apex Immigration Services, where I'm on the board, and also the Immigration Legal Services provider. And then Western Wake Crisis Ministry, where I'm the board president. With Apex Immigration Services, we provide immigration legal help to low-income immigrants and refugees in our area, and that community has been really hard hit by COVID-19. They are the working poor, basically, that don't have the ability to do their jobs remotely. If they don't work, they don't eat. And they're doing their jobs in locations that put them in contact with COVID-19, where their families are sick, they get sick, and they have health problems and economic problems, where they tend to lose their jobs, have low quality health care, and it's just they're really struggling, a big impact to their lives. With Western Wake Crisis Ministry, we deal a lot with people who are also struggling with COVID-19 and the impact, both economic and health. These people are struggling with homelessness and with utility bills that are climbing. A typical week, you'll see somebody come in that owes over $3,000 on a back utility bill. We're working with 4 families that we're housing in a hotel to try to keep them from having to live in their car. We also are working in a week to week with families that are fleeing domestic violence, and we're working with the Apex Police Department to try to keep them safe and housed, which just is a huge challenge. And finally, people are hungry, they need food. With Apex Immigration Services, we're trying to, where we can, help people get their green cards, their work permits renewed, and citizenship. We want them to, their status here in the U.S., their ability to live and work and raise their families in the U.S., we want that to be as stable as possible. So we're working real hard to get that done. With Western Wake Crisis Ministry, we're focused on 3 big things. First off is just getting food to people who need it, especially with the children who aren't in school or can't get their lunches from school. The second big thing we're doing, and we're really focusing, is trying to keep people housed. It's so expensive if somebody gets evicted to try to get them rehoused. And you talk about how important it is now. It's just extremely important to keep people safe and housed so they're not in a shelter and exposed to COVID-19 from there. And just their life it's just so disruptive for you to lose your home. And lastly, it's utility bills. When you lose your job, you have to have the heat and the air conditioning and the lights on, and you can't pay the bill. And those bills are mounting. There's people that owe over $9,000 in back utilities. 3 things. First off, our volunteers have been impacted also by COVID-19. So we need volunteers that will come in and help us pack the food, to hand out the food when people come by, and work on our Saturdays or in our warehouse collecting food and bringing it into the warehouse and stocking the shelves. Second is just being aware that there's that need out there and meeting the need with food drives and providing food when the drives happen. Lastly, it's money. It always takes money, and that would be if you're dealing with homelessness, you need money. If you're dealing with utility bills and need to be paid, we need money. Wearing one of my favorite AOSP t-shirts. I have been involved as a team leader since it began. I think I missed 1 year, and I love it. And I was really bummed this summer when it looked like it was going to get canceled. But then Wally Jordan came up with a great idea of, let's just do a mini AOSP. So we found a family in Chatham County that was a member of Pastor Danny Barrier's church, and worked on their home. Basically, their roof had been leaking for years. They had tarps on the roof that were so old that they had started to degrade. We were able to go in there and spend a week, and I think it was 90+ degrees and heat index over 100, but we put on a beautiful roof, tore off the old roof, put the new one on, and did some other things around the house, and it was just it was fun. It It was hot but fun. The owner at the end of it came up the ladder, got on his roof and walked it, and just was speechless. We were all pretty proud, but pretty happy that we could help. It really has helped to see the leadership of the bishop and the church with racial equity issues. As a Christian, you try very hard to love God and love your neighbor as yourself. And part of that, when you're dealing with racial equity issues, is being aware. And so you have to be aware that there's a problem out there, that you may have privileges that other people don't just because of the color of your skin, and working to make it equitable and equal so everybody has equal opportunity. The second thing is, now's not the time to be silent. Western Wake Crisis Ministry, actually the board worked very hard on the racial equity statement. So if you want to know where we stand, go to our website, it's there. And as a person, you need to speak now or somebody will speak for you. They'll look at your color of your skin, your age, your sex, and say, oh, you must believe this. And so you should say what you believe.